Okay. Thank you for joining me this for this presentation, and we'll be going through very interesting topic that I would like to us to understand. Yes. So we are sharing on something that I try to stop guessing and start invoicing. Basically, how to create pro forma estimates and professional invoices with Solafite. And so that is what we'll be discussing this hour. Now, the first thing I want us to understand is that many businesses operate, and I keep talking about businesses that are growing because that is the problem we're trying to solve. We're solving as an institution. We believe that as a business starts from an individual, gets to grow a number of persons, the workflow becomes much, and there's a tendency that there is chaos around the whole place. One of the areas that chaos quickly comes is with respect to invoicing. And so invoicing becomes an important. Now, in order for us to understand this, the first thing is that your business suffers from invoice chaos. Do you spend a lot of time trying to develop estimates in spreadsheets like Excel? Anytime you come, you have to type in your products and you. If that is what you are constantly or you are currently facing or experiencing, then there's a problem because your business might not grow as it should be or with its potential. Now, remember that the first thing that a business gets to before a customer gets to as he or she approaches your business is the pro forma or estimates. Gonna be like, "Hey, I want to get this. Can you send me your estimates?" And you are expected to prepare. One of the challenges that businesses will face when they don't have a structured approach is that there's what delayed in invoice. You are not able to generate the invoice on time, and so this results to lacking a proper payment plan and many other issues that come up. Now, when we're using Excel, there's a tendency that there's inconsistency in the document presentation format. There's inconsistency, there's no professionalism that comes across with your documents and how you send out that information. And so we are looking at your business operating in a well-structured approach. And one of the documents we're looking to standardize and upgrade and make it professional, even if you're a one-man business, is how your estimates are generated and how invoices are delivered to clients so that they should have what an amazing experience dealing with you. This translates into more visibilities and you have a lot of insights into whatever is happening in terms of your bills or outstanding quotations and whatever you're trying to achieve with the business transaction. Now, today we are not looking at solo applications. We are looking at applications that have the potential to help your business operate as a single entity with coordinated workflow. And we have a solution called Starlight, which is a one platform where every document, every workflow is done. We, from your estimates to your invoices to your purchase orders to your bills to your expenses and all aspects. So we have a system where your estimates are connected to your invoices and your payments and receipts are all integrated, whether you are proof of payment and what. So what Solafy actually delivers is the ability for you to do it, to come up with pro forma estimates in seconds. From your pro forma estimates, you're able to convert to estimates or to invoices just with a click. You want to include taxation. You want to be able to get customer tracking or payment tracking, and your receivable dashboard, so that at any point in time, I remember before we engaged this, I used to, after 1 month, I will start thinking, how much is this customer pay and how can I? No, you don't need to go through that headache. If you want to make your business stand out, then you need a structured approach. Now, that's it. What is a pro forma invoice? Let's assume that you're not from the accounting background, you are not from the business background, but you need this information. Anybody who I've worked with students, and I've also worked with persons who are professionals, and I discovered that when people come into the world of business, some have never done any business studies. You did sociology, you did anthropology, you did physics, you did chemistry, and you are not naturally exposed to the world of business. There's a tendency that you don't understand the documents, the terminologies and all the common documents that are needed in a business world. And even the world how business flows. Yes, you may be a great engineer. You have the ability to analyze and to produce and deliver great product. But business has systems, and these systems are structured, and these structured systems are based on some acceptable accounting practices, some standardized documents, or documents that must have some certain properties. Until you start using a software, you may not understand that that is how the business world works. So a pro forma invoice is a preliminary bill that you send to the client or to the potential person before you even deliver any good or a service to. Take, for instance, somebody wants to subscribe to Solarfight. The person basically asks for, send me a pro forma. In that pro forma, the person expects to see certain things. He wants to see how much am I offering my service? What is the different dimensions? Maybe what is the color? What are the different possibilities? So it states the agreed price, the quantity, and the terms with what a clear picture of what the customer should expect if you engage in that deal. And so it's just like the first connection that you have with your customer or you have with your potential customer. So it can be considered as the pre-shipping document you send before you receive your goods into your warehouse, where everything is being agreed upon. Budgets are discussed and agreements are done. Now, once that has been achieved, a pro forma can be converted to a paid invoice in seconds. And that is what we have done with Solarfire. And what are the first steps to achieve this? The first thing is that for you to achieve this, you need to register your customers. In Solarfire, you go to quick action, you click customers, and you register their few things, maybe the name, the address, the information that you want to respect to their customer, and you have it. Now, instead of creating a new pro forma where you have already done one, you just convert the existing into what? Or the adjustment you have done, and you have come to a consensus. You just have to do what? Click convert into an invoice, into a bill, into a purchase order. It can be reviewed and sent via email or WhatsApp if you so want, depending on what medium. And then you start tracking payment when the goods are received or when you have delivered the service. That is the workflow. Simple 5 steps from getting a customer, adding the estimate, send for approval, converting to an invoice, and you start receiving payment. As simple as that. Now, if you are using Solarfire, you basically go to what? Navigate to quick actions as I will indicate in this lecture. So, in sum, everything that you need is already built into Solarfire. We invoice, you have unique invoice identification number. So not two invoices carry the same identity. It's like an ID card. So you can know customer A at any point in time. Your taxes, you can auto input your taxes either at entity level or item tax level, and Solafy calculates it and produce your final your taxation reports without you necessarily having to manually do it. And the good thing is that everything is connected to the accounting reports. As you're working, the data is being populated in real time into your trial balance, into your income statement, into your balance sheets, and any other report, whether it's inventory report or so. Everything is done in synergy. So we can receive partial payment, or if there are issues of credit, you'll be able to get that. So that is the idea that we're from. Now, why should you even bother? Now, working with businesses, those who have started using Solafy, what have they benefited? 75% faster in creation of their invoices. You don't have to manually go and type again in Excel, because those products and those services are already in the system, their prices, their maybe their taxes. So you just select and with a click, you have it. So faster customer approval process. Customer have the put, you see it's very clean and explicit. You see reduction in payment delays because terms and conditions were pre-documented and agreed upon. And 100% audit trail, which means anything happen along the line can be traced. When did we receive this money, and who received it, and how did that transaction? That is the essence that you want to give your business, that visibility, that accountability, that transparency, and much more, that control over whatever you are trying to do or you are doing as your business is concerned. So basically, that is the idea that we're bringing. And so to see the practical approach, I will just go now and put on Solafy so that we can see. Now, let me share the screen again. So you have to log into solafyonline.com and create an account. You go to solafyonline.com, create an account, and you start using the system. So with us here, we already have an entity, so I will open about supermarket. You can manage multiple entities within the system, again with ease. So it gives you that possibility for you to manage the entities within the system with ease. So now, let me open this. Okay. Now again, if you are here for the first time, you see that we have our dashboard that basically tracks our activities. Now, since we're discussing invoicing, and we come to action. We see estimates, so I just have to click here. Estimates here, you can go through, but if you want to create a new, you click on the plus button. So, water project, just as an example, that's the title. The customer, we have CPA Limited. Terms and condition may be fixed, can be fixed, it can be material and time or another. So when will it expire? Let me say by the 30th of this month. Any terms and condition, maybe 50% advance payment. Advance payment. And you create. So it has created. Now, what are we going to offer the client? You just come here, you type. You see how many? Maybe I just say 20. As you're putting, they calculate, and you already see how much you're selling, how much you're making from that particular item sale. So you can list as many items as you have registered in your system or as the client needs. There's also room for you to still record, add more information here. Now take save. So we have it saved. At this particular point, I can export it and share with the client, maybe in the form of PDF. Just be exported. Maybe I might not. Uh, this is it here. The items, perform invoice, what a project, draft, and one revision has been done so far. Now, what can we do again? You can mark as review. So I mark as review. And so it has been reviewed. I can mark as approved. So as the process keeps going to unfold, I can see my gross profit, which is 56.53. I think reasonable. So I'm tracking my progress. I can as well send it to the client, indicate that it has been sent to the client. Now, this is especially very important in a large organization where there are so many workers involved and work needs to be tracked to know. So if the client rejects it or there are some revisions, I can come and add the revisions here. Otherwise, if maybe it has expired, we may need to generate a new one. Or the clients accept, I can come to the system and indicate accepted, so that anybody who picks up this will know that this particular has been accepted, approved. Immediately it's accepted, I can convert this into what? A purchase order, if that's what I was trying to achieve, into a bill, or I convert it into what? An invoice. Let me initiate an invoice, which is part of our conversation for this period. So you see that has automatically been converted as an invoice. And with an invoice here, you can set a payment method. If you have branches, you can go to the branch level and you have the items auto-populated. You may want to add, if you want to add taxation, fine. And any other thing that you want to add, we can save and continue. So we save. Okay. I think there is something preventing it from saving. You just come here and take save. But let's go a little bit behind and see where the issue is. Okay, that's actually save. It's just I was clicking multiple times instead of giving it. So let's go back and see. This is it here. And if you go to invoices, we should be able to see that. Okay, this is where we are. Invoices, this is it here. Actually converted. So this is a client. And so since this is an invoice and we have gone through that approval process, I can quickly just send for review, which is just now, just workflow coordination as we earlier indicated. And if you have the products, then you can approve and post. If you don't have, the system will reject you from. So insufficient inventory for this is this. So I don't have inventory for that particular item. But I can show you this other invoices here that we already have. So if I click here, we'll see how the invoice will be. You can send, print it, you can send an email, you can export it for so ever you want. Okay, it opens and you see that this one has been paid. This is the accounting transaction based on what has been done. And you can go on and check the reports and be sure. Again, you can send an email to the client by just clicking send a PDF. And if this client has an email, that will automatically be sent from the system without you having to do anything. So that's basically what you are able to achieve. So the essence of us doing this is just to take you through this important aspect of the invoicing and pro forma estimates that businesses often are faced with. And so you can do it with Solarfight. And again, if you're a one-man business or business multiple entities, you still have this. And call to action is that the first thing you should do if you're here for the first time, please do like and subscribe to the channel so you'll be updated. We are in the crusade of empowering businesses. We'll be discussing all aspects of the business. We'll talk about pro forma invoice that we have just mentioned. I've talked about invoicing. We'll talk about purchase orders, billing. We'll talk about expense management, accounting in itself, customer relationship management, all dimensions of the business to payroll to human resource. And we are using Solarfight just as a practical tool. Not that that is a focus, but our focus is to help you understand the workflow of business and how you can build systems that are very much dynamic and ready to be used within your organization with ease. And if you have an issue or you have a challenge with your business, you can also contact us or go to our website or you check on us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, most social media platforms. You'll find Solarfight there and you'll get to us and we'll be able to come and help you structure your business and give it a professional touch in all aspects. But apart from that, you can still like and follow our videos, and you can do it without necessary calling us onto your premises. At the end of the day, this is what we believe. We believe that software, AI, and the rest, they're not to eliminate staffs. Rather, our simple ideology is technology plus people equals to organizational excellence, which means we're bringing technology to organizations so that with the trained personnel using these tools, there is excellence in the level of all companies. And we want to take African businesses to be able to run with global standards, and we're giving them global solutions. And so, join us in this crusade. You can partner with us. You can also be somebody who is a consultant. You're an accountant. You manage multiple businesses. We can work together to empower businesses for a better future. And before we go, again, Solarfight is an enterprise. If you come here, you see product and services, customer relationship, procurement, everything with respect to procurement, billing and expenses based on HADA, inventory management, everything about inventory management from stock in, stock out, warehouse management, branch management, everything is available. If you are dealing with services and projects, you have it. If you run an NGO, there is an NGO model. If you have a consultant that has to deal with customers' money not necessary, we have a model called trust fund where that money is kept as we are spending. And we also have construction model. If you have a construction company, there are models here or things here that will be very useful for you in that field. And so we have manufacturing. If you get products and you manufacture, you are able to, we have bill of order, material and things. We can help track everything within the system. We have payroll, human resource and payroll. We have attendance management, leave management, and all of that. Now, I'm presenting this because you may have interest in any of this to work with us or to empower us for us to empower your business. And if you check here, we have the accounting, which is the core. Again, the system is system OHADA, which means the bedrock is OHADA accounting framework, and your reports are generated automatically once we are recording your transactions. If you come here, we can see the accounting, the journals or the journals where you want to create new journals, you can have that. And at the end of the period, so this is the journal section, and you can click here to create a new journal entry. You can import entries if you have them in Excel. We can use our AI interpreter. We equally have filters for so many other things. And if you want to have this system running your business, whether it's supermarket, you can contact us and we'll be available. Fixed assets. And for those who deal with taxation, don't have to suffer. We have the whole taxation. So if you are doing your transaction and recording at the end of the period, what happens is that you can just go and export your DSF and go and upload it to the tax platform. As easy as that. Yes, you can export it, and the data is already pulled from all the different charts of account classes that be used in the system. And so you review it and make adjustment where needful. And it saves you the money that you have to pay consultants, huge amount of money, and prevents you from running to gather receipts elsewhere, up and down, because they were not structured. At the end of the period, you have your reports and everything, and compliance will never be a worry to you again. So thank you again for joining me for this, and we appreciate that you should like, share this video, and subscribe, and most importantly, click the notification button so that anytime we are live, you get notified. Thank you. I'm your friend, Ferdinand Tingo.